everyone, welcome to today's video. Today is a what I eat in a day video. So if you guys have been here before and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. But today I'm going to take you through what I eat to lose weight basically. So in the morning I start off with a nice bowl of porridge. So I use semi-skimmed milk and just some nice organic original oats. I do sweeten it with a little bit of honey and some fruit as well. So I try not to add too much sugar to this if I can get away with it, because obviously that's when the naughtiness comes in. So all I do is I pop some milk in with the oats and I just leave that, I kind of stir it and then leave that for kind of a couple of minutes. You just have to keep on stirring. You can add a little bit more water if you want to, just to make sure that oats get well and truly cooked through. And you just kind of leave that on the hob for a couple of minutes. And then you'll notice that as you start slowly, it will start to get thicker as you stir it. So then it's ready to serve, and I just pop it into a nice lovely bowl. And this is nice and thick. I like it quite kind of squidgy. I don't like it too hard. Some people like quite hard porridge. I'm not a fan of that. And then all I do is get some manuka honey and I just pop a nice big dollop of this sort of around the bowl. It takes a little while to melt this on, but that really sweetens it up and it's really natural sweetness. So that's always good, and you know that it's doing good for your system. Next I put some raspberries in. These are just fresh raspberries, and then I top off with some seeds. These are just like pumpkin and flax seeds, and they're really sunflower seeds, and they're really tasty. So that's my breakfast. Then moving on to lunch, I go for a nice kind of pita bread with some salad. So I'm starting off by chopping up an avocado and some little cherry tomatoes. So these will form part of the pita bread and also the salad. So I've got a wholemeal pita bread here that's nice and carby, and then I've got my avocados, my fruit, my salmon, which sometimes I put tuna in, and then just a nice garden salad. So you've got really nice healthy proteins and fats in here. So this is a really nice source of nutrition for the day, and also just of energy. So it's like a slow release with the bread, and also it's really nice to have this sort of at lunchtime, because then you're not sitting on it in the evening. So it's quite nice if you're especially quite active. So I load the pita bread full of the salmon or tuna, the avocado, I pop that a bit on the salad as well, and then I put some cherry tomatoes in. So it's all super tasty, and the juiciness from the vegetables and from the salad kind of means that you don't need to add any extra sauce. So that's my lunch, and it looks super tasty. Honestly, this really fills you guys up, so definitely give that a try. Then on to snacks. So everyone gets hungry throughout the day. I tend to snack on a lot of fruit, especially things like apples and oranges and bananas. You can see I'm making a little face here. Or I have a handful of nuts, so just have a handful. Those were walnuts. Then for dinner, I go on to a nice easy stir fry. I always use coconut oil when I cook, and I'm using chicken breast steaks. It's nice and lean and it's just super tasty. I love cooking with this oil just because it's so good for you and you don't feel too bad when you eat it. And then I've got a bit of spices going on here. So that's barbecue spice and also some garlic granules. So this is just going to form the basis of my sauce. And then I pop in some stir fry veg with some low calories, so it's like a light soy sauce, and this all together with the juices from the vegetables just creates a really lovely sauce. And then I just pop in a little bit more of the barbecue seasoning and just stir that around until the veg becomes nice and soft. Then I love a bit of spinach, so I put some spinach in with this as well. You kind of just leave it to wilt a little bit on top and then you stir it into the actual mix. I just love spinach. I'm obsessed with it. I kind of have that on eggs sometimes as well in the morning. And then I sprinkle a few cashew nuts literally a minute or two before I serve, just so they don't go too soft, and that just creates a really nice texture and also gives you some good fats in there. And it's obviously got a lot of protein in here too, so it's a super easy healthy dish that you can have in the evening. And obviously be careful with your portion control, but you can have quite a bit of this because let's face it, it's really good for you and it tastes damn tasty. Then I'm going to go on to drinks. So drinks throughout the day, I tend to have quite a few cups of tea, but I'm trying to cut on caffeine and sugar. So I use these PG Tips red berries. These are caffeine free and they are so good. You just pop in the tea bag, wrap it around the handle. I tend to leave it in, but some people obviously take it out. And then when your kettle is boiled, you just pop the water in and then you leave it in for, I'd say, well, I leave it in all the time, but you have to leave it to brew for a couple of minutes so it goes a really nice deep red color, which you'll see in a second. And then it's just super tasty just to have as like a light refreshing drink if you don't want something cold and you want something hot. Also, I drink loads of water. So I have at least 4 bottles of this a day. I only put 3 on, but I actually drink about 4. So that's how I eat in a day. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and I will see you guys in a few days time in my next video. Bye guys. So you snip the end off the blood, and then you're basically going to just draw a line through that kind of slit that you've just made there.